We're doing a dead talk,
Uh-huh.
and we're going to bring in someone who can talk to us about chakras.
Okay. All right. Are you gonna do categories? Like, are you gonna like draw, male or female? I mean, I just want me to see what shows up.
See what shows up, and if we have to, then we will start to do that. But
Okay.
what our intention is to find someone who is knowledgeable that can explain this to us, who was once, well, who knows what's going to come up. We'll just
All
let it
right.
organically come.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, we may need to narrow this down. Um, we
Okay.
have a lot of takers. It's noisy.
You guys see all the
Okay.
orbs? Yeah.
Can you see them?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't see them. I can't.
Yeah.
They don't show up to here.
Okay.
Okay.
want me to
Just at
narrow it
least
down?
narrow it down to male. Let's just draw the card, name male or female, so I can
Okay.
get rid of half of them. I don't mean to be rude,
Okay.
but there's too
Male.
many. Okay. So all the girls go away. Narrow it down to a century or something. Like, I don't know.
Lived in the 1900s.
Okay. There we go. I think I have a couple, but let's see what shows up. Okay, definitely male. Okay, good. We got male. H J. J, is that a J? H J. Har. Definitely Indian. Not Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Indian. Har. Help me out here. There's not a lot of reference for me. They're trying, but there's not a lot of reference to this name.
Right.
Har. Ish. Harish. Is that first or I don't know. I think that might be a first name. I think the surname is a J.
Okay.
All right. Ask something. Ask something else. Let me see if there's. I'm struggling with the second name. The first name's right though.
Okay.
Harish. That's right.
What was his profession?
Writer, author, art, like painting, drawing.
Is it Harish Johari?
Yes, you have him.
Okay.
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 Sorry. This is funny.
Tell us his birth date.
It's definitely May. 1934.
Yep. May 1934.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is different. This communication is mildly different than what I'm used to. So,
yeah, he wrote a book, Chakras, Energy Centers of Transformation.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's start, as we always do, with your pre-birth intentions.
Is he like a musician too? There's a lot of music. Is that right? Okay. There's all right. I can hear a lot of stuff. The intention, here's the way he's showing me. The intention was to wrap up a very long journey.
So Harish Johari was a successful author, a gifted painter and sculptor, a lifetime scholar, an inspiring teacher, a splendid cook, an Ayurvedic massage miracle, a wonderful chanter of mantras, and a unique composer of Indian music.
Okay, that's must be what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
It's not music I know, but the what's that word you said?
Ayurveda.
Veda? Okay. That
Yeah.
lit something up.
Ayurvedic massage.
Okay, that lit something up. There's something about with him that there's a connection, that Ayurveda and the chakras. There's something that for us to talk about there, I think.
All right. Harish, we
Okay.
are a group of students interested in learning about chakras from a non-physical perspective without the influence of fear. Well, let's start then with Ayurvedic and how it may be connected to chakras.
There's something called he's got something, it starts with a D. It's three. It intertwines with the chakras, and it's important from his perspective.
Doshas.
Okay. Something that's sort of the first thing to talk about. So here's what he's saying. The chakras, the chakra system, as it in this density in 3D, there's something else, another energy pattern that sort of governs, in a way, determines a lot of who we are. Sort of like, I think what he's trying to show me, even though there's only 3, it seems like it's personality types, maybe?
Doshas, yeah.
Dosha. Okay, there we go. Okay. There's one that governs how we move, create, communicate, and this one, if that's dominant sort of in someone, then when that person is balanced in these 3 areas, that person is more like energetic and creative, flexible, and an imbalance in that makes someone anxious, restless.
So we have Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, right?
Okay, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. So these 3 doshas, it's dosha, make up what he's saying. It's like our individuality, it's our makeup. We have our own individual sort of makeup, and it's influenced from his perspective in these doshas, the way that we have them and the balance of them. They determine like our mental and emotional traits, sort of how we react, that sort of stuff, physiological function like things. Okay. And those are connected with, that determines, or it's connected to how our chakras really flow. Those things must be in balance as well as the chakras. It's like what he's telling me is we're not going deep enough in a way. I think. Okay.
Are they also associated with colors and frequency?
yes. Elements. It seems to be more elements. The doshas are more, but yes, right? Yeah, of course, frequency. But earth, fire, water, air, the doshas are more closely associated in that way. You see, the chakras are as well. Like I'm just starting to learn that there's the earth, water, fire, air, those first four chakras. And these dosha sort of energy balls and the way that they're balanced within us. It's a circle with the chakras, but it's all, we are energy and we're far more complex than we understand. We're keeping it very elementary with the seven chakra system is fine. He says the seven, it's fine. That's, that's fine. But okay.
So
Sorry.
if you were to create a structured way of learning about all of this energy, would you start at the chakras or would you start at the doshas?
Chakras would be, okay, chakras are easier to understand. They're a bit more, I think the way he's saying this is universal to all of us. They're a bit more the same for each of us. The other part that he's explaining to me is very in it's almost like, imagine some sort of chemistry or alchemy and how much of this one you have and how much of this one in relationship to this one determines your whole overall constitution of who you are. Like what he's showing me is that would be perhaps maybe secondary to learn, like the next level of maybe learning and understanding, even though in some cultures that's more primary. It's all mixed together. But from his perspective, that in 3D, the doshas are very, very much earth. They seem to be very earth-based, if I'm understanding what he's showing me. It's elemental, seasonal in a way, like cold weather, hot weather. It's all affecting this. So keeping those in balance is perhaps more of an earth, right? More earth, where the chakra system takes us all the way, right? All the way up. God, I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. I don't understand half of what I'm saying.
Your book about chakras, what did you get wrong or mistaken or misunderstood in that book?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so we could just
I think he's playing with us.
well, what I'm saying is we could just read that book, right? But is there anything
Okay.
in the book that from his perspective now
Is okay. So to read that book, to understand that book, still is so basic. It's very elementary, very simplified. There's so much more going on, but not all of it, most of it unnecessary to truly understand from a 3D perspective. To be interested, oh, this is cool. To be interested, to have your curiosity sparked, to research, to go inside, to learn to feel along that pathway of dosha and chakra and magic in general, that's the word he's using. This is enough. Everything written should be read and absorbed as a guideline, as a springboard to go deeper inside of yourself. think that's what is being said. Okay.
Was he able to get all of his chakras balanced? Were they always balanced? Was he able to learn this early on? And how did that affect his life?
Never, not one time, all balanced.
Okay.
Never, ever, 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 ever. It is a practice. It's a journey. And should not be undertaken for an outcome. Should be undertaken for the pleasure of the practice.
We're starting to comprehend that it's sort of a chicken and the egg thing. The chakras are blocked because of this event or this experience, and they're opened through awareness of certain experiences or processing limiting beliefs. Does this chakra get blocked as a result of an event or an experience, or is the experience a result of a blocked chakra? How does that work?
An experience, a perception of an experience can disrupt the energy flow, cause an imbalance or a block. An imbalance or a block will cause a skewed, he's saying, I think skewed, a skew perception of an experience.
Oh, I see it.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know what we just said, but
Yeah.
okay.
What is the best way to find out our doshas?
There are simple things that must be, I think, like personality testing in a sense that
Oh, that'd be
can lead you, guide you to perhaps what one of the three you feel or find you are more heavily weighted in.
What are nadis?
Nadis are, can you explain it or just show me? Just showing me. It's like they're lines. They're like meridian lines or connections in energy, in our energy field. Is that right? This is what he's showing me. It's what it looks like.
Well, how do they affect everything?
As we learn where we are now to balance chakras, the nadis, he's saying, are a bit more associated with, if I got this right, like acupressure points, sort of like acupressure points. I think he's saying more like points, and the nadis are these, listen, a lot of this is visual, so sort of connectors there. So certainly there are things to open, things to learn. Chinese medicine of acupuncture and acupressure, these things, it's all about focusing and moving and releasing energy. I think the nadis, this thing that you're asking, is, it seems like they're very closely related to what I would think of as meridians in Chinese medicine, what these connective points.
Is the use of light language in conjunction with chakra flow beneficial? And would he have used that if that was available to him at the time?
Light language was available to him.
And is that what part of chanting might have been?
Words of power, chanting, light language, very much. And yes, because it's vibration, it's energy. It's like he's saying, it's life force. The energy flow of the chakras, the flow of the light language, whether it is done in hand, spoken in sound, singing, painted, drawn, It is moving energy. It's vibration, light, sound on each end of that spectrum. Sound is just audible light.
Right. Was this wrapping up of a long journey, the utilization of all these things in the perfect place, perfect time, probably channeling it yourself, bringing in all this of all this energy in massage and art and music and all these things? Was this like a full expression of the most energetic version of your origin consciousness in a human life? This was the wrapping up of that?
The words that you just said were given to you by him. It was the fullest expression. He just said, I've got this visual, and I don't know, we'll have to see, but he's very jolly and jovial in his face, but he's very intense.
I don't know how obvious this is, but we're thinking now that of course Earth has chakras as well. Could you tell us where they are?
He says she does. Yeah, he calls her she. She does.
And could you tell us where they are?
He's saying like check out the Nile River.
Well, I thought that
I don't know.
That was my idea, was that the chakra system was along the Nile River. But some were saying that like Mount Shasta and Lake Titicaca are.
Right. I think in some way, maybe it's because that's what you thought. I don't know. That's why maybe he's playing. I actually don't know if this is a serious answer, and he's not really saying that it is or it isn't. There is something that he's sort of overlaying, and it's more of an impression in that remember that space and time are two sides of the same coin. I clearly understand this. And that to experience time in the way that we do, it's a bit of a, like we're listening to the warped part of a record. Right? This is the way he's explaining it. And in many ways, to experience space is the same. It's a warped version of a very distinct dimensional reality, right? And to be in this side or in this side is to be in the listen, I don't know, just to go with what he's sort of laying on me here. So to pinpoint the location of a chakra on a planet or a human is inaccurate at best. It's just inaccurate at best. As individuals, as humanity, we are Earth. We're the same. I got this already. I know that. We are Earth. We aren't on Earth. We aren't a part of Earth in that way. We are it. To have fun, if finding, locating, connecting to the chakras of the earth is of interest, to read what is out there, what has been said, to get your own information and follow that, to make a connection with your own, the way you perceive your own chakras, and then move through space and time to a location, to what you are led to connect with your own heart chakra, with the heart chakra of the earth, right? could be a fun game and would be different for every single person.
Someone had a fun question here. Is there a famous person we know that has had, oh, this is Katie, famous person that has had, well, so this is a question about, has there been a famous person who's had all their chakras balanced, but we realize that's impossible? That brings up,
He said, we're not going to say impossible.
but not likely. Okay. All right. Is a famous person out there who's exemplified with a balanced chakra? Maybe an example of someone who has a balanced chakra.
One balanced chakra.
A balanced system of 7 chakras in balance. I don't know.
Not famous in Western society.
Okay.
I wish you guys could see some of the stuff that I'm getting. It's funny. I'm interpreting it the best way I can.
What's the dominant dasha of the chakra teacher? Or was he so-called tridashic?
The teacher typically would be, okay, is there one that starts with a K?
Did anyone know?
Kappa.
Kappa.
Okay. Many teachers are weighted in that dosha that I think what he's trying to show me is like stable, very stable and nurturing, sort of like motherly almost. I think that's what I'm seeing. From his perspective now, what he's saying is that just like the chakras move and you change all the time, this dosha energy also at different points in his life, one perhaps is more dominant than another, even though I think what he's saying is when he was teaching it, it was definitely typed. You were this type, or this type. From his perspective now, he's saying he would back up off of that just a bit.
Mm.
At any particular point in your life, you may find, so like the tridoshic that you're talking about, what he's showing me, and it almost reminds me of like a TV logo or something. So imagine the 3 balls on a triangle and they sort of intersect, but they're, moving, and one can be dominant, one can come out, that they move. Like one seems to be more like somebody that's really determined and quick, right? They're quick-witted, right? Alert and driven or determined, right? Like Lily. Right,
Which one is
perhaps.
that? What dosha is that one? If anyone knows, they could type it as well.
Starts the P, I think.
Pita.
Like the bread?
Well, it's Pitta, so I don't know how to pronounce
This
it.
is the P. Okay. I'm
Okay.
only getting like
Yeah.
the first letter. Pitta. Okay. Yeah.
Pitta. Okay.
Pitta. It's almost like there's a TH, but it's not. I mean, it sounds like pitta. Sounds like a TH, like an English TH, but
Is that dominant in me?
at times that's I think, and it feels like this is a contradiction in what he taught in life and what, from the perspective now, he sees
He sees it
saying
as,
to me,
as changing,
ever
and
changing.
evolving. Okay.
Mhm. Not that they, and it's a way for us where we are to understand energy, to understand movement, to understand and use what we know as a guide to understand that if we're feeling anxious or restless, or we've got something physical going on, that we can refer to this guide of doshas and use similar techniques to hone, balance, expand, right, that particular energy. I'm going to have to learn about this. I feel like a dummy.
Are the chakras and the doshas influenced by astrological movement?
Yes. That was simple.
Are they
Okay.
influenced? Are they influenced by anything that we're not aware of, or that people who study these things aren't aware? Is there something about this whole system that humans don't understand yet?
Most of it.
Is there some little?
Okay.
Is there something that we could add to it right now?
What we don't factor in. Oh, I hope I have this right. Is collective consciousness. The collective. The influence that the collective of humanity, the collective of all beings on this planet, the collective of all beings in our solar system, the collective of all beings in our galaxy, the collective of all everything is influencing what is happening energetically in every moment. And we feel so separate and so individual that our scientists, philosophers, spiritual leaders, teachers even discount that, do not understand, and that has great impact. That is one. He's going to give us one thing.
That's a great one. Have you had a life in another reality where you were part of a collective consciousness?
Of course, yes.
And was it easier to understand the chakra system from that collective perspective?
Not easier. What we do, okay, we see if I get this right, because this sounds really cool. I think if I get this right, is in the mind, in different densities within consciousness, where the collective is far more aware. The connection isn't as like your vibration that you asking the questions. And I think those on the call imagine the collective consciousness as up here, connected in mind. This is not really accurate. The connection is here. It is, everything is exchanged in feeling. And to function in that way, there's a feeling of the chakra system. There's a feeling of the light body, the energetic. There's a feeling of these things, a knowing, a sentience of it, that our separation and our heaviness to focus with the mind and believe that the mind is correct, the mind is dominant, the mind is what we should lead with, the mind is what we lead with. We also then compose that onto other beings that we believe are of greater intelligence, higher intelligence, and we put more mind on that, right? We say they're more here, but they are far less here, far more. here.
What's the feeling intensity on Earth compared to that collective consciousness and that reality, that feeling there?
In that sense, the feeling reality is referring to emotion, that energy motion that is communication. It is a feeling reality. The feelings are a direct result of a perspective. Okay. Far more intense when speaking of functioning and communicating through a heart center and sentience through a heart center. It is not the emotion that he's speaking of. It's not emotion.
Right.
That's different. Feeling reality, as Joshua is speaking of it, he's saying is different than what he's speaking of when he talks of sentience through the heart.
Imagine living on Earth with this ability to feel through the heart. My understanding is that would be a very powerful feeling, a lively feeling, a vibrant feeling compared to other realities where it's a collective consciousness. There's something more about feeling in general in this reality. Like those feelings could be brought online and would just be brighter and sharper and more intense.
The range of feeling is what brings on the intensity. It's like the range of music to the contrast is what makes it intense. That same contrast does not exist in certain other physical reality. Okay. I think I understand. Do you guys understand that? I think I do. I don't know.
Well, I just caught something there that emotion really is energy in motion. Is that how he would explain it? And of all the places to choose the wrapping up, why was Earth chosen for that?
What we were just talking about, for the intensity, the feeling, right? The feeling of it, the celebration of it. It's from that perspective, from a non-physical perspective, this is the flaming birthday cake of existence. Yeah.
And this was the culmination of a long journey. What is next for you? Would there be no more physical lives or the start of a brand new journey?
The wrapping up of a long journey is in no way an indication of an end. Wow.
From your perspective, there's been a long journey, and the wrapping up could be lots of other lifetimes.
I had no idea what was getting ready to come out there. That was really cool.
Yeah, but I'm just talking physical lives. You could exist as a teacher.
Nebulous mist.
As a nebulous mist. Great. Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us and enlightening us.
Did that. It's really cool. They've never had one of them do that before.
Wow.